I talk to a lot of people who are on the fence about buying their first house. They're not sure, should I continue renting? Should I buy a house? And there's a common thread. There are two things that are the core reason why they're kind of on the fence and not sure what to do. Reason number one, they're listening to people that haven't done the thing that they want to do. Right. So, for example, you want to buy a house in New York City and you're listening to your uncle in North Carolina that says, oh, you can't do it because it's too expensive. Or, oh, you can't do it. You need $200,000. But they've never actually bought a house in New York City. So, how the heck will they know? And then, the second thing is that people aren't clear on like what their goal is. So if you're not clear on what it is that you are trying to accomplish, it's going to be easier for you to get other people's opinions in your head and stopping you from doing what you want to do or clouding your decision on whether you should or should not make this move to buy this house. So, in this episode, as someone that has bought a couple of houses, I am going to share a few benefits of buying a house. I can't help you decide whether you should or should not buy a house, but these are a few things that I appreciated after I bought my house, and I wasn't really clear on it beforehand. So, hopefully, this will help you to get a little bit clearer on your decision. If we have not met before, my name is Nobu Musekiwa, and I help women go from frustrated and stressed about their credit to confident and ready to apply for their first mortgage. So if that is you, go ahead and check out creditcheatcode.site for a quiz that'll show you the very first thing that you should do if you're trying to fix your credit score so you can buy your first house. Let me go ahead. This little banner, let me go ahead and take this off. All right, perfect. So the very first benefit that I want to talk about to buying your house, especially if you buy this house strategically, is the opportunity to increase your monthly cash flow. All right. So what do I mean by monthly cash flow? At your job completely understands what their cash flow is. It's how much they have coming in compared to how much they are spending. And then that profit, like how much to have every single month after they pay for everything, that is the monthly cash flow. Now, as regular people, we absolutely should be understanding what our cash flow is as well. So when you're looking at how much you make at your job, like what is your income? And then every single dollar that you spend, your rent, your food, going out, going to Target, okay, because that gets expensive, getting your nails done. When you take all of that, how much do you have left? And if you don't know what your cash flow is, then you want to make sure you are clear on what that is. And the best way to do that is to have a budget. And so once you buy a house and you buy this house strategically, you have the opportunity to completely change what your cash flow looks like. Right. So you have the opportunity to increase how much you make every single month. And not talking about your house going up in the future, but if you buy your house and you're strategic, you can actually change how much money you are keeping after you buy this house. So, for example, you can do that by if you are buying by yourself, right? Buying a 3-bedroom house and then getting a roommate for that extra room. Because now that roommate's going to help you to pay down that mortgage that you're not going to pay now. So now you have extra money in your budget, extra money every month that you wouldn't have had if you didn't have this house. You can buy a house and then fix up the garage and make that garage a little apartment. Again, now you have extra money coming in that you wouldn't have had if you were renting. Same thing with buying a duplex or a triplex or a quad, right? You're buying this one house that has 3 apartments or 4 apartments in it. You live in one. So now all your tenants are paying down your mortgage. So now you have extra money every single month. So if you're buying your house strategically, you have the opportunity to keep extra coins in your pocket, pretty much. Now, you could also go the other way and not buy your house strategically and lose money every single month. And that is absolutely not what we want. If you want to buy this house because you want to make coins, go ahead and let me know in the comments, because I know I'm not trying to buy a house to lose money. I'm trying to buy a house to make some money. Now, along with making some money, right, the other benefit for buying your first house is the opportunity to have a forced piggy bank, right? So when people talk about, when most people think about how they plan to make money when they buy their first house, they're thinking, okay, I'm going to buy this house, and in 10 years, 20 years, whenever I want to sell this house, I'm going to go ahead and sell it and I'll make money, right? And the idea is, as the value of that house goes up, you'll be able to sell this house for more money in the future. And that difference between how much you owe the bank and what the value of your house is, if you subtract what the value of your house is minus how much you owe the bank, like that is the equity that you have in your house, right? That is how much money you can take out and do whatever with. So whenever you are paying your landlord, you're not building any equity, right? You don't get any cash back. You don't get any kind of dividends. You don't get anything back from paying your landlord. You get a house to live in, which is nice, but you are not gaining equity. Whereas when you are paying into your mortgage, every single month that you pay that mortgage down, part of that money goes towards interest to the bank. Part of that money goes towards your insurance, your taxes, all of that. Then part of it goes into like bringing down how much you owe the bank. So over time, you have a bigger and bigger amount of money that you can take out of that house, even if the value of that house never goes up. So let's say for whatever reason you buy this house for 100,000, it stays 100,000 for the next 20 years. Even if it stays the exact same value, every time you pay down that mortgage, you are pretty much forcing yourself to save, right? Because now in the future, you can pull out of that piggy bank. And the beautiful thing about a house specifically is you can actually do something that's called a refinance and take money out from that house, pay it down again, and then take money out again. So this can be a never ending piggy bank for you if you buy that first house strategically. I want to make sure we're clear on that. You gotta make that, you have to be smart about how you buy the house to begin with in order to be able to have cash flow, in order to be able to have equity that you can pull from quickly. Right. So one way to buy a house strategically when it comes to forcing that savings is buying a house that needs some work, because now you're going to get it cheaper. And as soon as you get that work done, you have automatically put equity into this house. In it, you have automatically created equity, excuse me. In addition, every single month that you're paying your mortgage, you are creating more equity in that house as well. So I love that think of your house, your future house that you're going to buy, as a piggy bank that just keeps on giving over and over again. It's like the gift that, what do you say? The gift that keeps on giving. Yeah. That can be a house if you make the decision to buy it strategically. Um, if you're finding a value in this, go ahead and hit that like button and let me know, where do you plan on buying your first house? If you have any questions, go ahead and drop them in the comments. I will be checking those. Probably my favorite thing. I mean, I like equity. I like cash flow. I'm not going to lie. I especially like cash flow more than equity because I like getting cash money in my hands. But I really, really like not paying as much taxes. And when that story came out about Trump paying $700 in taxes, everybody was so pissed off. And I'm like, y'all are asking the wrong questions. Like, you need to be asking, who is doing Trump's taxes? That's what you need to ask. And you need to go find that person. Because if there are rules in place and someone is using those rules to that advantage, why are you getting mad at the person? What you should be asking is, how do I take advantage of those same rules as well? And like, one way you can pay way less taxes is by having property. And I was unaware of this when I bought my first house, but I absolutely love it. Right. I'm not a tax professional, so make sure you talk to your tax guy or tax lady. But the interest that you pay, the taxes that you pay, those are all deductible. So pretty much like the income that you're taxed on is going to be reduced, which means that you are going to be paid in a potentially a lower tax bracket, which means you're going to pay less taxes. If you are renting, there are no tax benefits to renting. You got to have a house. And you especially get additional tax benefits if you have a multi-family property, because in addition to the regular deductions that you get on your property tax that you pay, you now get deductions on everything that you're using, everything that you're spending on that building, because now you're using that building as a business. It's not just a place that you live in. And so, so that alone can save you a lot, because now you're going to get back a lot more than you usually do. And again, you don't get this if you are a renter. So it absolutely is comfortable to rent because you don't have the responsibility of having to fix anything or having to worry about, I got to pay my taxes, otherwise I might get a lien, or I need to make sure I have insurance. It's a lot less, it's a lot more comfortable to be a renter. But I'm going to go back to my point at the beginning, which is, what is your goal when it comes to your money? What is your long-term goal? Right? If your long-term goal is you want to build wealth, you want to be financially stable, you want to reach that financial independence, there is a reason why the majority of millionaires or billionaires have real estate. And so if you're not getting in the game by buying your first property and buying it smart, buying it strategically, and you decide, hey, I'm going to go ahead and just rent forever, that's fine, as long as it aligns with what your goal is. So if you are serious about rapidly getting to financial freedom, about increasing your financial stability, my favorite property to buy is a multifamily, because you get opportunity to do all three of the things I talked about. You get to increase your cash flow, you get to work on your equity effortlessly, and you get a whole bunch of tax deduction opportunities. Go ahead and check out this next video that I will link right here with the details on how you can go ahead and live mortgage free.